This can help somebody. Somebody could fall victim to this, and I really want to try to prevent that. So let's prevent people from falling victim to these scams. Let's keep your money in your pocket. You ain't got to worry about nobody taking your money as long as we sharing and passing the information along. People are really ruthless and evil, and they out to steal all of your money. So basically, let me just tell you what happened to me. I own my own photography and videography business. Okay, I do wedding photography. Then that's like my hustle, okay? And wedding season is quickly approaching, but I not only do wedding photography, I do photography for all types of events. Someone reached out to me via text message, asking me to do maybe a family reunion. So I was like, okay, family reunion service. Okay, how long do you need me to do that? Seemed like a legit customer. We started talking about, the breakdown of the cost of my services and the cost of the prints that I do. For starters, he was hiring me all day for the whole entire day. So that added up. And then the amount of prints that he wanted like 20 poster size prints. He wanted every single size, and he wanted like 20 of each. So that kind of added up too. So when it was all said and done, after taxes and everything like that, it came up to about $900 and 22 or something like that, 20 something dollars. Okay, I sent him the invoice. Okay, this is the invoice. You have to pay at least half up front, non-refundable deposit for my services to book me for this date. He agreed to pay the whole thing up front. I'm like, okay. Well, I didn't really think anything of it. A lot of people had their tax money. I don't know. I just didn't think anything of it. I'm like, okay, you want to pay all of it up front. That's fine. Maybe he had other family members helping him pay for the service, whatever. And then he hit me with I need to ask you a favor. And I'll pay you for it. I'm like, okay, what favor are you trying to ask me for? He said, I need you to help me finish paying for the event. I'll pay you $1,000, and I need to pay my party planner about $45. And I'm like, okay, that sounds weird, a weird request, but you want to pay me more to just transfer the money along? And then I'm starting to think, like, why can't he do this himself? I was like, well, why are you unable to get the money to the party planner? And he said, I'm gonna be honest with you. And this is all through text message, by the way. And he was, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm in ICU right now, and I'm unable to do anything with money. Okay, I'm like, all right. So I felt bad for asking. And I asked him, well, just use the Cash App. You can delete me as the middleman. Use the Cash App, transfer the money directly to the event planner. And then he was like, yeah, I don't trust the Cash App. Something happened with my business in the past. I don't trust it. I'm like, okay, well, why don't you just PayPal the money to that person? He was like, yeah, PayPal doesn't work for me as well. So all of this stuff, every suggestion I made, he kind of shot it down in a weird type of way. So I'm like, okay. He was like, I really want to pay you to do this for me. And I'm like, well, let me text the event planner. Give me the event planner's number. It was probably still him. I texted the event planner, and the event planner said the same thing. He said, I will only take a cash deposit. I'm not going to be able to take, I'm not doing Cash App. I'm not doing nothing. So basically he said the same thing that the guy was telling me. So I'm like, okay, well, he had paid with a credit card, and the funds was processing it on his way to going directly into the business account. And so I'm like, well, he's paying me to do this, might as well. Once he paid, and I seen it was about to go through with the merchant, he was like, actually something came up. I paid you a lot of money. I need you to can you get it to him today or tomorrow or within the next couple of days? And I'm like, well, no, it's still processing through the merchant services. I'm unable to get that money to your event planner until it clears on our end, which will take a few business days. Okay, it's a lot of money. You'd pay me like $5,000. He was gonna pay me the other $500 later on, but you paid me $5,000 off your credit card. It's a lot of money. It's gonna take a minute to process. He was like, well, he has to have the money now in order to secure the event. He has to have it. Can you spare any some money to act as a down payment, and then you just use the money once it clears through the merchant? So he wanted me to use my own money, my personal money, or the money from my business to forward to the event planner while we wait for the merchant services to clear the money. And then I would just take the money from his credit card and just reimburse myself, I guess. That's a huge no-no. And I'll tell you why later. But I'm like, this money is going to be direct deposited into my bank account within the next 24 hours. So why not? So I was like, okay, yeah, $1,500. Yeah, let me see if I could go ahead and do that for you. I'll put $1,500 down and I'll just reimburse myself from the money once it clears. So Western Union, I go to Western Union. He gave me the information to wire it to Western Union. That's a big red flag. Don't ever do that. And I'm going to tell you why later. But he gave me the information to wire it to Western Union. And it was sitting well on my conscience to do this. So I went down there. They put it on hold. But I just needed to know that I could go back and say, no, never mind. Refund me my money. So I think I don't know what she did. But she put it through. She put it in there. She gave me the number. And I don't know if she put it on hold or what. But thank God she did. My merchant services, they dropped me as a client. They dropped my business as a client, saying something about us doing fraudulent activity, about the credit card we was using, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, what? And they accused my company of putting in fraudulent credit card, I guess. And we was doing fraudulent activity. And my merchant actually dropped me as a client. I'm like, oh, what the hell? So that was another red flag. I think we on red flag number 2. I went back to an old merchant since they dropped me. I went back to the very first merchant I used when I first opened my business. The funds was obviously refunded back on the credit card. So thank God it was put on hold at Western Union. So if I had sent that $1,500, I would be out of $1,500 because that whole $5,000 was refunded back to the credit card. I call him and I'm texting him. We talking on the phone. First of all, he don't sound like he in ICU. That's number one. For one, the whole conversation was through text message. So, I was like, you know what? This is some fraudulent stuff because he was pestering me to send this damn money. And I'm like, I'm not sending this money. First of all, the funds was returned on your card. And they accusing me for some fraudulent activity. He was like, he kept going back and forth. Let me talk to my broker. He kept going back and forth saying he gonna call me back after he talked to his broker. Whatever. I was like, you know what? Let me get this man to sign a contract. I need you to sign a contract so I have you legally bound to pay me this money. Because at this point, I'm like, something is very, very fishy with this whole transaction that's about to go through. So I made him sign a contract. He signed it. He sent it back. But it probably didn't mean shit because he probably signed something fake and it will be hard for me to prove anything in court at this point, even though I still have all the text messages. But anyway, and so I was like, okay, maybe we could still salvage this transaction. Maybe we could still salvage this partnership between me and you. Okay, I sent him the number that the lady gave me. I guess it was like a confirmation number for the wire transfer. Even though she put it on hold because she knew something was risky. Because when I was at Western Union, she was asking all these questions. Do you know the person that you're sending it to? No. This is a large amount of money. Is you sure that this is an address? Blah, blah, blah. What is this money for? She was asking all these questions, which is good. She was really looking out because I think she was already familiar with the scam. He tried to see if the money was delivered and he kept calling me. The money isn't delivered. The money isn't delivered. He called me about 5 times in a row. I'm like, I'm in the car. I cannot check on this money wire transfer right now. I'll wait till I get home, see that it was placed on hold, thank God. Call Western Union. She started asking me all these questions like, yeah, do you know this person? Do you know who you're sending it to? I'm like, I don't know the person directly. It's an event planner I'm sending it to. Somebody paid me a whole bunch of money to move the money along. She was like, did they ask for this amount? What's the nature of this, transaction? Blah, blah, blah. I, go through all the questions, and she said, ma'am, we believe that you are a victim of a scam that's going around. I'm like, oh, shoot. I'm a victim of a scam. So she was like, and we will be refunding you that the Western Union transfer that you tried to put through. I'm like, okay, cool. And then while all of this was going on, my very first merchant, we tried to push the transaction through to them, and they was asking all of the same questions, like, what is this for? Why is it this amount of money? What is the services for? Can you break down the services? Even my first merchant, so 2 merchants, Western Union, all of them was asking me what is the deal, because after seeing my first merchant email me later on saying they entered in too many different zip codes, we believe the credit card is stolen, and had this because the transaction went through, and I ended up refunding the guy the money. I'm like, okay, something's wrong, something you're not telling me. It's very fraudulent for you to continue to try to push this transaction through. With something you're not telling me. He was like, I'm about to refund you this money. He was like, no, hold on to the money. He kept pushing me to hold on to this doggone money. I'm like, nah, I need to refund you money. Just hold on to it until next week. Because if you refund it now, I won't be able to get the money to the event planner, because the funds will be tied up for about 7 to 14 days or whatever he said. But after being in contact with my first merchant, they said refund the money now, because this credit card we believe is stolen. And on top of that, had you had deposited the money directly into your bank account, it would have been a chargeback, and you would have been liable for all of the money. You would have been liable for the fact that you used a stolen credit card, and your business would have my business probably would have been in jeopardy. Most likely, definitely would have been in jeopardy. And then I would have been out $1,500 on top of all of that. Moral of the story is this: if somebody tries to pay you more than what you're charging them, that is a red flag. If they're trying to pay you more and then tell you to transfer the money along to someone or something else, that is a huge red flag. That is a scam. Do not fall for it, because they will charge back the card, because they're using stolen credit cards for starters to pay the money to you. They're using stolen credit cards. You will be held liable. Okay, there's no, oh, I didn't know. There's none of that. I didn't know that that was going to happen, and I wasn't familiar that I was using a stolen credit card. That's not going to hold up. Your company is going to be held liable. You'll be responsible for the full amount that you tried to charge, probably even more than that. And then if you transferred any money out of your own account, you lose that money. Because with a wire transfer, a cash wire transfer, once it's transferred, you can't get that money back. That's why you really need to know the person you sending this money to. And a lot of people have been scammed out of thousands of dollars. I've spoke to my attorney general in Ohio, or the attorney general scam hotline for Ohio, and they said people get scammed out of millions of dollars, thousands and thousands, and even millions of dollars for scams like this. And they do it in the form of a check. If they pay you more money in a check, it was like, can you just transfer the money, the extra money that I paid you? I'm sorry, I paid you more money in a check. Just transfer the extra money back to this account, and you can keep the rest. No, because they use fraudulent checks, and so a check isn't fully cleared, I think, until like 30 days. They may let you access the money within a couple of days, but the check isn't fully cleared for, I think, 30 days. It depends on the bank or whatever. And now it's a fraudulent check, so now you're responsible for the full amount of the check. I heard people, who had services for like $6,000 for a construction job. This is if you're in real estate. Construction job. They pay you a $10,000 check. Okay? And then they'll be like, oh, well, pass the other $2,000 to go towards this, and then I'll let you keep the other $2,000 for your trouble. Don't do it. Because once you cash that check, you'll be liable for the full $10,000 plus fees and whatever for trying to run through a fraudulent check. Do not accept more money for your services, period. Don't accept more money at all, because you will be held responsible. Your company will be held liable, and you have to pay all of that money back. Plus, you may lose out on money if you transferring your own money. You may lose out on all of that money. So that is a rampant scam that is going around, and they're targeting small businesses and small and business owners, and especially that event planning stuff. That scam has been ran on a lot of photographers. So this message is going out to anybody who's a small business, or if you have photography, even if you're doing real estate, any kind of business. Do not accept more than what you're invoicing your customers. And especially don't do any kind of transfer. And especially wait until the money is all the way cleared before you agree to do the services. All right, y'all, I'm about to go pick up my son, but I really hope that message bless somebody, because keeping your money, that's a blessing, because you can lose it. There's too many people out here that's money hungry and that want to take your money from you. So I really hope that message bless somebody. Again, I just want to share the information. Share as much information as you can with each other. Let's share it. Let's keep sharing this information. We need to keep each other. We just need to make sure we share the information for each other. This can help somebody. Somebody could fall victim to this. And I really want to try to prevent that. So let's prevent people from falling victim to these scams. Let's keep your money in your pocket. You ain't got to worry about nobody taking your money, as long as we sharing and passing the information along. I love y'all. God is good, and I hope that you have a good, blessed rest of your day.